Hi everyone, my name is Kelly. Welcome to my channel. Today I will be doing a second video on how to cut your own hair at home with layers. Apparently my first video, you guys really liked it, so thank you for your support, and again, thank you for watching all of my videos. I hope that they help you in some way, and thank you for helping me raise awareness against child sex slavery and human trafficking with all these videos. As you know, all my videos are very straightforward. I'm not a computer person, so I'm not good at editing or making the movie or the video any more interesting. It's just straightforward. So those of you who find that these videos are a bit long, I'm sorry, because I want to make sure that I explain myself properly so that you guys are clear on what to do with all the videos that I show you how to do things. So today is going to be my video number 2 on how to cut your own hair at home, and I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope that it's helpful for you. So this is my hair. I have hair extensions in, as you all know. This has been in me for about since September, October-ish. It's been a long time, and I went on my mission trip back in January and February with it, so it got really dry because in Vietnam it's very hot. So and also my hair is about 2-3 inches off from my scalp, so the extension needs to come out. So before it comes out, I might as well do a haircut video with it. So this is the color, and this is how it looks like from the back. As you can see, the longer the hair extensions is in your head, the better it looks. It looks a lot very natural as it grows out. So a lot of times when people have hair extensions, they tend not to cut it, or they tend not to take them out soon enough. So that's why the hair gets very tangled. And my hair grows very slow, so therefore I can keep these extensions in for a long time. I'll show you a strand of how long it is. So this is the hair extensions right there, and that is how far it's grown from my head, like about 2.5 inches right there. So it's quite long, and it has to come out. If not, it gets matted inside here. The thing with hair extension is that the hair extension itself is easy to remove with a remover. It's your hair that get tangled in here. So what happened is that our hair naturally shed. So therefore, when your hair is in the extensions hold on to those shedded hair. So therefore, when you leave it in for too long, it starts getting tangled and matted in here. So that's why it's not recommended that you leave it too long, because then it's hard to detangle your hair after. So that's why hair extension usually should only stay in about 4 to 5 months max. So you shouldn't have it in any longer than that. So just to show you an example of my extensions, it's grown out really long, and I'm gonna have to remove these. So before I do that, so first I have layers in my hair, as you know, okay? And people ask me, my hair looks so full, so voluminous. It is because of the hair extensions. So my hair naturally is very fine, not fine, but it's not as full as this. So it's very deceiving. I'm going to show you how to cut. So today I'm gonna do a very straightforward, oval cut. Right now, my hair is more of a V shape, as you can see, because of the length. That's why it looks more like a V. But today I'm going to cut it up at about there and make it more softer on the ends. So for those of you who have hair long like this, and you would go to a hairstylist just to have it trimmed so that's healthy, this is a bit more than just a trim. It's actually a haircut. So yeah. So first I'm going to part the hair in half, like I usually do. Okay, like this. And And then I'm going to comb the hair. Make sure you style your hair before you trim it. I find that when you cut with wet hair, it's hard to see. So if you can dry it and style it, like smooth it out like this, it's a lot easier to cut. Usually you should brush your hair with a brush or a detangler or a wet brush, but I'm just lazy, so I'm just going to comb it with this cutting comb. But hold the hair at the bottom so that you detangle the bottom first and then work your way up. So I'm just going to explain how to get a V and an oval. So with a V, if you, let's say, in order to get a V-shaped look at the back, you need the length. If you have hair up to here and you cut a V, yes, you see a V, but then the hair will be, the front will be up to here and it's too short. So a lot of time when you want that V effect at the back, your hair has to be at least, you know, somewhere around here, so that when you layer it, it can go like a V. So therefore, the more angle, for example, the more angle I go like this, cutting all that off, going down to the longest part, the more deeper of a V it will be. The less I cut of the angle, like that, the more oval it's going to be. So if you can envision that if I were to cut this straight down, like I have now, directing it forward, then I'm preserving the length here, which means the ends at the back will be more of an oval. If I were to cut off this, all this off, and connect it down to here, from here to here, then you can see how the V will form at the back, which is more of a deeper V. So that's the difference. So I'm going to use the comb to hold the hair for me, and I'm just going to trim this part because I would like to take off some of the length. So you can see I'm cutting quite a bit of a length off because it's been a while and it's getting a little tangled. So I'm just going to cut a bit more than usual. So I'm going to cut the deep V so you can see first, and then I will cut the oval. So see how I'm angling it a lot more? Once you take away the corners, the square corners, then it automatically starts forming into a V shape. See how I still have the length at the back, right here? So the reason why I'm point cutting is because I don't want blunt ends. When you point cut, it makes the end a lot more feathery, which in return gives the hair more movement. So it's not, you don't see demarcation line. So as you can see, this side is a bit more angled down than this side. How this is going more forward, this is going a little bit on a slant. So you can cut it as much as you like. Use my technique as a guideline only. Okay, and then this side. I'm going to use the comb to hold the hair because your hand cannot hold all that hair, and the comb will hold the hair for you, and then you just trim whatever is needed. So I am going on an angle. Make sure you cut a little and cut more if you need to, than to cut too much and you can't undo it. So regardless if your hair is already layered like mine or it's one length, you can definitely use this technique. If you have hair that is one length, I would suggest the fastest way to do is use the comb to hold the hair like I did, and then you will, so let's say you had one length and you had no guideline to cut the style. What you would do is that you are going to comb the hair out just like you would, like I just did. So let's say this is already layered, but let's say if it was all one length, you would use the comb and determine how much angle you want. So let's say you want that angle and this is still one length. I suggest that you would cut it blunt first so it will look very thick. Then after you get rid of all that one length, then you can go in and point cut it. So it will save you a lot more time, because if you were to cut it point cutting, if you were to point cut it when it's one length, you can, but you just need to have a lot more experience with the hair. But if you don't, just use the comb, angle it where you want it, and then just cut it blunt first, just to get that shape, and then you can go in and point cut that bluntness to soften it. So that's what you would do if your hair was one length and you did not have a guideline. But since my hair has been cut before and there is a guideline, then I'm just following what I did before. So once you're finished, you are going to hold the hair straight down and see if they're even. Make sure that they are. Now I'm going to turn around so you can see how V it looks at the back. So it's best to use another mirror so that you can see. So do you see how it's more of a V right now? Okay, so because of the length of the hair, that's why it has a more definite V shape. If you didn't like that V shape, which I will show you in a bit, I will try to cut it more oval. But if you wanted this V shape, just go, like I said, angle it more deeper on the slant. So now I'm going to cut it some more. Again, using this technique, you can cut it at any length you want. So let's say if I wanted to make this a little shorter because it's too long, again, I'm going to comb it and I'm going to cut off this tail like this. See how when I point cut it, it makes the ends a lot more movement? So there goes the tail. Now it will be a little shorter. So with this technique, you can definitely do at any length you want. Okay, so as you can see, same thing over here. So I cut it about another inch shorter, and then just double check if the length is good. Okay, so you can see that it's a bit shorter. So, see? So, like I said, you can definitely go as short as you want, or wherever length you're looking for. So that's how it looks at the back. So you can see that it's a lot more fuller looking. So as you can see, it's still a tail, like it's still a V, but it's not as wispy. So if you like it like this, then you can leave it. But let's say if you want more of an oval as opposed to a V, this is how you are going to do it. So again, part the hair in half. I find that for those of you who have time to style your hair in the morning, or you know how to style your hair with a round brush, then it's good to add layers, which I did in my previous video all over. But let's say if you have no time and you're not good with working the hair at the back, just layer at the front, just some layer at the front, and you know, the length being appropriate is a good enough haircut. So see how the front has layers? You don't really have to layer all at the back. Sometimes, you know, it's nice just to have the back a little longer, you know, longer layers, and the front you can go a little shorter. So again, when you move your hair and there are layers at the front, it will help the rest of the hair to have layers as well. So those of you who are not a styler, you don't know how to style your hair very much, or you don't have time in the morning to blow dry it like 15 minutes, try not to go crazy with the layer at the back. Just, you know, give it a nice layer at the front. You know, it's good enough. So just keep that in mind. Less is more. The more layer, which means the more you have to style it, the more you have to, you know, work it. The simpler the haircut, you know, the less work you have to do. So just keep that in mind. So now I'm gonna show you how to oval off the back so it doesn't look too pointy. So let's say those of you who like a V shape, I personally like the V shape just because it makes me look a little taller and a little slimmer on the waist because of the point. But you know, there are those who don't want the V shape and they just want the oval shape or just a fuller, thicker at the bottom. Then what you do is bring the hair in the middle, part down the middle, bring it to the front, and you're going to use the comb to hold the hair for you, and then you're going to trim, point cut off the ends of the hair. See? I'm using the comb to hold the hair, and then I'm just going to point cut that tail or that point off. Once you get rid of the point, the hair will automatically look more oval or more, you know, more straight across as opposed to a V shape. So holding the comb, just point cut. You can see why I'm not going straight across. The reason why is that if you can't cut the layer at the back or too much layer, then at least have some sort of movement at the outline of the hair, which is what I'm doing right now. When the ends of the hair are point cut, it gives it a bit of movement as opposed to a blunt, heavy look. Because if it's too heavy, it can weigh your hair cut down and make it look very flat. So by having the hair a bit more, see, more feathery, it makes it look a little bit more volume. So see how it's more heavier, fuller? I'm gonna. So you see how it's more fuller looking at the back, but it still have movement. It's not like a heavy, complete blunt. It just look fuller. So those of you who like more of the oval shape, see how it's still straight, but it has a bit of a bend or a curve on both sides that makes it look like an oval. Whereas before, because of the tail or because of the point, it makes it more like a V. So if you can understand that concept, then you can cut your hair a V shape for a couple of months, and then it grows out, and then you can cut it back to an oval, and then as it grows out, it's going to go into a nice V shape as well. So that is the hair. So you can have it at this length, or you can have it shorter. It's up to you. I am just going to go a little shorter. So again, always part your hair in half just to make sure both sides are even. So you can either cut the side first and then the length, or the length then the side, doesn't matter. But usually I prefer to cut the length first and then the side. If you're doing a brand new haircut on a hair that has not been shaped before, then it's best to determine the length and then cut the layers, because I know a lot of ladies out there, you love the length, and you know, sometimes the hairstylist cut too much off. Again, no offense to any hairstylist when I'm doing these videos. I'm just doing these videos for people who can't get to a hairstylist because they live very far away or they have been disappointed. So none of my hair cutting video are to take the job of a hair salon or a hairstylist. So please don't be upset if you are a hairstylist watching this. This is just to help those who are at home, who can afford to go to a hairstylist, or for whatever reason they can watch this video and trim their own hair at home in between visits to the salon. So see how it's layered, and same thing on this side. So by you combing the hair forward like this, you are already layering the back. I'm just going to layer it a bit more. And then I'm just going to cut the length up a bit. See how dry cut makes it a lot easier to cut the hair? So you can do this, let's say if your hair is curly, I also suggest to cut it, you know, after it's smoothed out, because whether it's curly or straight, it's pretty much the same concept. It's just that when it's curly, cut less. So let's say if you're cutting on a curly hair and you straighten the hair and you cut it like 1/4 of an inch, because it will shrink up to like an inch with curly hair. So just be conscious when you're cutting curly hair. You can definitely use my technique to cut curly hair or wavy hair or straight hair, but with curly hair, just cut like very little, because you can always come back and cut more than to cut too much and, you know, you regretting it. So just keep that in mind. Once again, I hope that this tutorial was helpful for you. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and please help me raise awareness against child sex slavery and human trafficking. Until next time, bye everyone!